Hello and welcome to the Cabin 5 podcast, the second episode, we're pretty sure.
Yeah, second episode. We've got one uploaded officially. First of all, shout out to our first 7 subscribers.
Oh, we're doing it.
I'm one of those subscribers, so thank you. But yeah, to all of our 7 subscribers, you are the coolest.
This is for you.
This is for you.
And for when we have like millions of subscribers and you're watching back from episode 1 and you're on episode 2.
You 7 are the best.
Yeah, it's just those 7 we care about.
Are
we don't care about
the
rest.
7?
Yeah,
Okay,
I am
we're 2 of the 7. Yeah.
I don't want to miss one of my own.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Okay, so
We should do some shout outs.
like, I think we've already dedicated enough time.
Yeah. Okay,
So-
shout outs at the end.
Second episode. For this one, I get reign over what we do, and I have decided that it is going to be about D&D, one of your favorite subjects of all time.
Dungeons and Dragons. See, I'm learning already.
I'm
Exciting.
surprised you know that's what that means.
I know things. Sometimes this is like, what do they call it? ASMR?
This is?
No, I opened the cap next to my microphone. Okay. This is already, yeah. It's going good.
But, so, you know a little bit about D&D.
Yeah.
Partially because your boyfriend
Yes.
does a lot of
Yes.
D&D. I do too. In college, I got big into D&D.
Yes.
And for any who may not know, it is a tabletop role-playing game in which you use dice to determine things. But you can just sort of do whatever you want.
I have kind of an interesting idea.
Okay?
I want you to, in less than a minute, describe to somebody who has no idea / no interest in D&D and sell it to them in a minute.
Okay, starting...
If they're not like nerdy, they don't like playing games normally, how do you sell it to them?
Okay. You there, random person. You should play D&D because you can do anything. You can murder hopeless innocents or kill a dragon if you so choose. What else can you do? I mean, you can just sort of do anything. If you're bored with normal games or you're like a random boring person like a banker, this is your time to use your imagination. Create the character of your dreams. You could just be fantasy you, but cooler. Or you could be your exact opposite. It's up to you. Choose your destiny, your path for the future.
All right, I want to take a moment to call out what we call the Dumbledore voice.
Oh, yeah, I do it every once in a
His
while.
accent,
I think
he turns into Dumbledore. It
Hello
happens
there.
every time.
Hi. It's my generic old man / Dumbledore voice.
It's like if Dumbledore weren't quite Dumbledore, but more
This is what I
kind
imagine.
the kind of guy who would strip down and run across the street naked.
Yeah.
That's this version of Dumbledore.
Because that is what Dumbledore should be. In my imagination, that's what he is. He's like barely sane.
See, no, I like the original Dumbledore from the first 2 movies. I like his
As long as it's
vibe.
not the Goblet of Fire one.
No.
Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?
Goblets of Fire! Harry!
Harry! He said calmly.
That totally messed up our mics. I guarantee.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, "Rah." Sorry to
Sorry.
our rest in peace headphone users. Sorry. Continue.
Anyway, what were we saying?
D&D.
I was just selling D&D.
Yeah.
So, I've been playing it for not really that long. Maybe like I started, I guess 2 years ago. It feels like longer. But, and I've been trying to sell people on it ever since. It's how I made most of my friends in college because it's super fun. But you don't really give it that much of a chance. I managed to get you to play it like twice.
Yeah.
Like one sort of tiny campaign and one even tinier campaign. And maybe like a one-shot or 2.
I liked the one shots. I think for me it's more so like the memory and like memorizing not even just memorizing things, but like having to know. For me, games should be like something that's like you can turn your brain off. I don't want to play a game where I have to use my brain more than I do at work. That's not relaxing.
You liked
know what I
I
mean?
did a murder mystery one that you liked though, and you had to like solve things. And
Yeah,
clues.
but you also didn't make me like know all of the things.
True, it was like self-contained.
Yeah, but anyway, carry on.
So I'm thinking, where should we start this? I've sort of explained briefly what it is.
So
maybe
what
we should-
what I was interested in kind of about this episode was the resurgence of D&D.
Yeah.
Because D&D was started in the 70s. I know enough about D&D to say this. Anyway, by the way, sorry.
You're subjected to it by your boyfriend.
So D&D started in the 70s, and it was a big thing for a while for like younger people. I mean, it probably did for some people, but it wasn't nearly as like widespread back then. It was more like when you're a kid, you play it with your friends. And then it kind of like it wasn't a thing. There's a little bug.
Little tiny fly.
A little bug. It wasn't really a thing for a while for like most people, and now it is. What's happening there?
Well, that's the producer is telling us to put our mics down further so you can see our beautiful faces.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thanks, you, producer. Mom.
But anyway, what was I saying? D&D. Yeah, so it wasn't really like a thing that a lot of people played. I mean, maybe it was, but not mainstream. And then recently it's really had a resurgence for a few different reasons, but I think it's really interesting to talk on that because
it's always been pretty famous, I'm pretty sure. But like not nearly as much. It was very much like a
niche thing, right?
It was like your go-to nerd thing that you'd be like, "Oh, they play Dungeons and Dragons, don't they?" But now it's actually like a thing that people do. But now it's like
most people that you come across have at least
some sort of knowledge.
Most people have at least either played it or they know somebody that does.
Yeah, or they'll be able to like recognize something that's definitely D&D.
It went in your hair, that little bug.
No.
Anyway.
Our nemesis.
Sorry.
Should we have like a name for him in case he's like a recurring character in this podcast?
Let's name him Elliot.
Elliot, the stupid bug.
Elliot, yes.
So, wow, I immediately sidetracked. What were we saying? Again?
This is what we have to do. This is what I have to deal with a lot, people. So, we're talking about D&D and the resurgence.
Okay. So, I was saying this a little bit earlier. I think that, at least with you, I think that it's a couple of different reasons that it's resurged. I think partially, maybe the obvious one that a lot of people know is Stranger Things. That's not personally how I like got to know it because
it wasn't.
No, I like just before that came out, I was using it as a tool for writing. Actually, there was like a D&D tool online that is like really easy to keep all your stuff going down. So I was just using that as a tool for writing. I was like, maybe I should actually learn what this game is about. And then from there, it became an obsession. And so I don't really know that much about Stranger Things. I never watched it. I just know vaguely they play D&D and they fight monsters that are sort of like the D&D monsters they name them after.
Yeah. So here's the thing. This is a little controversial. I'm not a huge fan of Stranger Things. I have watched it. I've watched it and I'm like, okay, it's fine. I just wasn't like, I watched it one time. I haven't really like, I don't know. I was kind of confused because I watched it when they came out originally. I liked, I think it was the third season that was kind of like more of like actual hardcore 80s theme where they went to like the mall and stuff. I liked that season, but I think overall it's just not my thing. I don't really like sci-fi, but I don't know. I don't want to say it gave me Riverdale vibes, but it kind of did. But I don't want to say that because I'm comparing it to season 1 Riverdale. I never saw any of the others, so I feel like Stranger Things overall gave me season 1 Riverdale vibes. Does that make sense? I think, yeah.
I don't know what any of this means, but I'll play along.
So I don't really watch Stranger Things. I haven't watched the most recent season. I heard that it was sad. So I don't like watching things that I know are going to make me sad.
One of the only things I know is that they introduce characters just to kill them off.
They do, and I hate that. That's terrible. I hate that they do that.
Yeah. It's a bit sad, isn't it?
I don't want to watch a show with a bunch of death.
But like, this episode is not about Stranger Things exclusively because I know nothing about it. That would be one of your episodes if you want to do that.
I don't want to talk about Stranger Things. There's enough people talking about it. I don't care enough. I loved Enola Holmes if we're going to talk about Millie Bobby Brown.
Ooh, I
love Enola Holmes.
I think I watched the first movie in like half.
I could do a whole podcast on that. There's 2. I love them both. They're both amazing.
I need to rewatch those.
I don't care about Stranger Things. Let's move on.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to be snippy, but it came off like that. So anyway, carry on.
So I think that's one of the parts of why D&D is researched. Maybe because that has enough people following it that I think that it definitely intrigued enough people. But the other thing is definitely the like streams, D&D live streams that have been like popping up now. I think very much, namely Critical Role. They even have their own show now. Did you watch that with me?
Of course I did. Yeah.
It's really, really good. It's
Yeah.
crazy good.
It's a good cartoon.
Because they're just straight up actors.
I just want to do something here quick. Disclaimer. If you are under the age of, I would say probably 16, please don't watch the Critical Role cartoon. It's not a cartoon in the way that
it's an adult cartoon.
It's not really a cartoon.
Okay.
I just want to put that out there.
Cartoons can be for any ages.
I understand
There's adult
that,
cartoons.
but when you say cartoon, if you don't add the term
it's an
adult
animated
cartoon,
show.
It is. It's an animated show. But,
but
that being said.
So I think, Critical Role, also like Dimension 20. You probably don't know that one.
I don't know that one.
But they're also crazy good. Those
I
are
know
some of my
Critical Role.
recommendations.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch more. But I think that those are definitely in due part of why D&D has gotten very popular recently.
Yeah.
And even so much that it actually reached you somehow.
Well, that's not that shocking. Everybody, I mean, what are the chances that I wouldn't know things? Like, I'm surrounded by it.
I guess, but
all
you
the
actually know
time.
like some of the rules and things now, even
I
though
don't,
you've tried
though.
not to.
I don't really. I will say I do like the Critical Role show. And I like
Really?
the podcast, too.
Mhm.
Because here's the thing. So, you know Pavlov, right? The Pavlov effect.
Yeah.
So, for viewers, right? Like, it's the dog, right? The dog,
The bell.
the bell, the saliva, the whole thing. Psychology, right? So anyways,
Psychology.
So, my boyfriend, he will watch Critical Role.
Hmm.
And
Have you been Pavloved into something?
yes. So, he used to watch it like in the living room, and we'd turn off the lights and he'd watch it. And it was always late at night. So, I would usually take a nap.
Hmm.
And so now every time I hear the host's voice,
Matt Mercer.
I start to fall asleep. I just find his voice so calming.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
You could
everyone
not
does
play,
or
like,
if it's just me
He-
because of that.
He's the voice of like a half of all video game characters ever, so you could not play a lot of video
I'd be like
games.
narcolepsy every time I.
Mhm.
Oh no. Yeah. But anyway, he does have a very soothing voice. So if you're trying to like take a good nap, I would recommend turning. Critical Role is like usually 3 to 4 hours long. So if you want like a really good nap, turn that on and
they
just
have, like-
zone out.
They have
It's
like
nice.
300 episodes now, so that's over 1,000 hours of just straight up.
I don't know how you catch up.
D&D.
If you
I-
want to
I
watch
have
the whole
not.
thing, can you
I'd say pick a season and then go maybe for
try
it.
your luck? Okay.
Yeah, but season 2 is my favorite. Campaign 2, if you're looking for.
Is
a
that
D&D
the one
way
that they built the? No. I know. Hold on. Nope. It's the. Okay. I know this.
You
I know
do.
this. I do.
Name one character, one of the
No,
player characters.
No, I'm trying to think of what the whole thing's called. Cause, what?
The group name?
Yes.
Okay, you can do this. It's 2 words. They're always 2 words.
Is it the Mighty Nine?
It is that.
the
It
thing?
is that.
It's
Wow.
so weird. I knew it. Okay, wait. What is the one with the cartoon though? I can't think of what they're called.
That's Vox Machina.
That's okay. Yep.
I'm surprised you knew
I
that.
know.
That's crazy.
Well, Kate has a shirt that says it.
Oh, okay.
So I think maybe I made that up. I don't really know, but I knew it. So,
That's surprising.
impressed. I'm impressed with myself.
So, where should we go from here? Because I had one thing that you do not seem
I mean,
keen
we
on.
could do it towards the end
Mhm.
if you want to do that, but I think I don't know. Like, I just think it's very interesting to talk about. Like, do you know any of the history of D&D? Like, who created it and why, and
I
kind of like
didn't-
what it, how, where, like, what did it start as, and what has it expanded to? Because I know it's grown a lot.
I know a little bit. I know that it started in Wisconsin, and
That's cool. I didn't know that. We have a lot of serial killers here, by the way.
yeah,
Not
and
anymore.
and
Most
D&D
of them are dead.
apparently. Cheese, serial killers, and D&D.
Yeah, I mean,
And I know that it became world famous at some point. It's on its 5th edition now.
can I ask you, as
Mm-hmm.
somebody that knows nothing about Dungeons and Dragons, I just want to know, your thoughts on what do they call it? Is it the race that you choose? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Is it race or is it like breed.
So you
I
choose
don't know.
a race and a class.
So, okay, tell me what you think is the best of each of those and why.
Ooh, okay.
That's what I want to know
I'd
because I
like
don't know
that.
anything.
So, I mean, the standard is human, right? And there's there's stereotypes against everyone has a favorite race to play and a favorite class, and there's stereotypes against those people who like those as their favorites.
Okay.
And people who like play a lot of humans, they're boring.
Okay.
And it's kind of true.
I want to hear the stereotypes against each thing. Tell me. This is now
Okay.
I have a direction.
But I was just gonna say, I do think that humans, it's kind of good to play human because if you have too much going on already, it's good to be human because then like that's one less thing. Like if you're like a demon dragon wizard, that's like that's a couple of things, right?
Yeah.
You might want to be human then, so you're just a dragon wizard human. Because then that's like one less thing to really worry about.
That makes
But
sense.
if you have like a sort of simpler character, like, I don't know, someone who's like a guard or something, then maybe you go for the like eagle person, Aarakocra.
An eagle person?
Yes, that's one of the things. So, do you want to know some of the stereotypes?
Yeah, I do actually.
So it's more evident definitely in the classes, but I think there are definitely ones for races. So like the elves, there's a lot of different elves. I think the stereotype is just that you want to be they're like the generic fantasy ones because they're just good at everything. There's no drawbacks to being an elf. You live forever, well, basically forever, 900 years or something, 500, I don't know, whatever. And you don't have to sleep. You're like super smart, can see into the distance.
Yeah, that's cool.
Immune to
I want to be one of those.
being charmed or resistance. There's gonna be some like D&D experts there that are like, actually, you just have advantage against being charmed.
Don't act like we're that popular. Our mom is the only one watching.
Cade might watch, and he'd do that, exactly
would.
that.
He would.
But,
don't judge.
So I think that elf is definitely the generic fantasy.
Yeah.
There's tieflings, which are the demon people.
Wait, tieflings? Like with the...
Tieflings.
Oh, teef, like with an F?
Yeah.
Ow. What is that?
They're like demon people.
Okay.
One of their ancestors might have made like a pact with a demon or something. Or it's different with every setting, I think. But they have like horns and stuff.
Okay.
And they're always the ones who have dramatic backstories. Like the people who play them, they're gonna be like dramatic at the table. At least that's the stereotype.
Like fake death? What?
Yeah, or like, be like,
died.
they're like theater kids or something,
Oh God! First you go after the South, now you're going after the
Yes,
theater kids.
I will go after everyone
Oh.
eventually. Because it's not like, I'm not being particularly mean to anyone if I'm mean to everyone, I'll get to you eventually.
Rag,
You.
whoever.
Yes, you.
You.
What else are there? Can you guess what my favorite is?
Well, you're boring, so probably the humans.
No. Mm-mm.
I
Humans
think
are...
you like orcs.
Yes, half orc is my favorite.
Why half?
So, for a while you couldn't really play a full orc. I think now you can.
Is it because they're too strong?
No, it's just because they're a monstrous race, I think is what they're called. But a half orc is implied you have more humanity in you. But that's another thing with D&D. It's always really foggy, like what is like a fully... Like, I think orcs are meant to be fully sentient, but also they're meant to just be evil most of the time. But it doesn't really make sense, because if you're sentient, surely you wouldn't have like one inclination or another. I don't know. That's being a bit philosophical, but
I have nothing to say on this subject.
You're not a philosopher?
I don't know that I processed entirely what you said.
It doesn't really matter.
But somebody did, so.
Yeah, half orcs are my favorite. They have cool abilities, and also just having like green skin and stuff, and like the tusks, super cool. Best part of fantasy.
Troll in the dungeon.
Troll in the dungeon. For sure to know.
Hey, it's the dramatic pass out theater kid. Anyway.
Should we do one more? What's another?
Okay, I want to know, can you be a dragon?
You can be A dragonborn?
Why is that different?
You're not full on a dragon. You're like, you have scales, you're a reptile person. You don't have a tail, sadly, but everyone says you have a tail because you should.
I was
You don't
just
have wings,
inspired.
though.
I have a different thing that I want to ask you about.
Yes.
This is basically just turning into me having a Q&A for you about Dungeons and Dragons. I would like to know, because you have, for those of you who are listening, he has been involved in several Dungeons and Dragons. They call them campaigns, right?
Yes.
So I want to know some funny stories that happen in campaigns, or like people that you know that have made like dramatic situations or things that have happened at the table that you just rolled your eyes at or that were just so ridiculous. Like, I want to know that stuff.
I'm playing currently in 2 campaigns.
Okay.
And there's definitely been some dramatic moments. Drama. But there's also been really funny things. What are some just like really brief ones? Where we left off for one of them before I left from college. We were doing like this battling tournament for all of our characters. We each had like a rival, and it was like a 1-versus-1 gladiator event.
Okay.
And we all had like these written in characters from our backstories that were fighting us. They were like an equal match, but all of them were like slightly better than us.
Oh.
But the funny thing was, like, they were each higher level than us, so it should have been hard. But each of us were just like breezing past them, even though we shouldn't have. We were just completely demolishing them. I think I was the first one. I don't think I even went through like a fifth of my HP. Ugh, so easy.
Nerd.
So everyone, like, we went through everyone. There's, I think, 7 people at the table. It's a pretty big campaign. And all this time we had the option of like gambling to see who would win. So if the person you're saying won, you double your money. And everyone pretty much was doing this, like, because we got so much gold near the end, like a crazy amount. That doesn't mean anything to you, but it was a lot. It was like a fortune. But I wasn't betting any because I was playing like a dumb character. I was a barbarian. So I don't really have any sort of concept of money, so why would I care?
Okay.
So I just didn't. And so it went to the last person at the table. We were like, okay, everyone, at this point we had so much money, it was insane. And everyone was like, why don't we just double it again? So everyone did. And immediately this person lost. Well, not immediately, but it was very quickly.
Oh, no.
And by a bit.
So you lost all your money?
Yeah, everyone lost all of their money. So much.
Oh, no.
And it was just amazing. It's karma. I think everyone has a bit of a story like that. What else is there, though?
So would you say that karma is a cat purring in your lap because it loves you?
What's that one?
That's like the big Taylor Swift one right now.
It is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just from
It's
the
all
lyrics
over the radio.
alone, I could
Otherwise,
tell.
I wouldn't know it.
It does sound like Taylor Swift's lyrics. I just knew it.
Well, yeah, because cat. She's a cat person.
Is she?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm not a Taylor Swift expert.
I mean, I don't think you have to be to
True.
know that. Anyway.
Another story. This was maybe... Actually, I have 2. I have a dramatic one. Do you want to know a dramatic one? Or do you want to know the funny one?
I want to know the funny one.
Okay, so I'll go through both of them. This was from my very first campaign. It's from the Curse of Strahd. If any D&D people know what that one is. It's like a horror sort of one. It's with vampires. That was my first ever campaign. It was pretty fun, but it was with other people who didn't really know D&D. And one of these people was kind of just... I don't even really know how to describe it. He he just wanted to know what he could do. So at every moment he was just doing things that I think you probably could say were a bit psychopathic.
Okay.
And I think this is best said in this one story I love to tell. So it was at some sort of like, we were fighting some witches, or there was witches in this like
The
tower.
dog is actively drinking out of the toilet.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that. Ew.
Sorry, got distracted.
So there's some like witches in a tower or something. It was really vague. At least my memory of it. But we had to fight them, or at least sneak up on them, I think. And just one of the random details the DM said was that there is a raven there, just like cawing at you. And
Caw,
just like
caw.
without hesitation, the the guy who was playing the kind of insane character just decided to absolutely destroy the bird with magic. Just get rid of its existence.
Caw.
And like it was a really hard fight against the witches. We're like, oh, we barely survived that. And then right afterwards,
Get out of here.
right afterwards, the DM told us that that bird actually was special in some sort of way. So we'd never figured that out until a later campaign, or not a later campaign, a later session where there were more ravens. We were in some sort of town, and we had to like figure out more. Just randomly, he decided to shoot birds out of the sky, and they turned into people. The birds are people. Actually, they were children.
Oh.
So
Oh, wow.
murdered 2 children.
Oh.
They fell out of the sky.
Did they turn back into children as they fell?
Yeah. I think we did manage to heal them, but they were horribly scarred.
Oh, God.
So,
Wow.
and
Okay.
apparently that wasn't even something that the DM made up. That was actually written in the campaign setting. That
The children that
yeah,
fell
those
from the sky.
those
Okay.
birds were children, and that was like written in there. There's like these
Okay.
people that can turn into birds,
Oh.
and there's like, and they help you if you're nice to them. But if you
Wow.
explode them with magic, probably less so.
Zuko, are you enjoying yourself down there?
A puppy's down there. A 10-year-old puppy. He's not really a young puppy. He's still a puppy though.
He's chilling.
hmm
Panting heavily, but chilling.
hmm But
Fascinating.
the
Okay.
dramatic story. Okay.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, like drama to like, oh, this is just a game kind of drama. Is
Oh
it
no,
good drama?
this was fully immersion
Was
drama.
there somebody like at the table screaming? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's how you. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to hear it then.
Okay, so I was kind of screaming. A couple other people, I think, were. It was very intense. We were a little bit scarred after it.
What?
This was near where we left off, a couple sessions before it. So I guess background information for my character that I was playing, at least. He's a human wizard, a divination wizard. And he's sort of like a seer. He can see a
Okay.
bit into the future. And he, one of his eyes is blind. He's a little bit based off of Odin, because I love Norse mythology. But one of the things with him is that, well, he just has like a past. I didn't really like give that much detail into it, so I wasn't fully sure what happens. But my DM would foreshadow things that were to come in like dreams, and sometimes these dream sequences are really creepy. And one of them was that I knew that I was going to be kidnapped. I had like a bag over my head. I dreamt this, and that something really bad was going to happen. So naturally, I just ignored it, and we decided to go to a masquerade ball, which is like the most. That's such like a TV-ish, you know. I like the setup for it, you know.
Yeah.
But and there it was pretty chill until we met this just insane guy who wanted to kill me for some reason in my past. Didn't really remember it all that well. But he just fully, like, I think he almost killed like 2 people in our party, and like very much almost killed me. Kidnapped me, brought me to a room in like some like place on an island, and knocked me out. And then when I woke up, he was taking out my other eye, just fully scooping it out of the socket. Actually, should we
Ew.
put Should we put like a gore warning?
Elliot. Ew. No, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay, it's a little
Get
gross.
over it. It's like a pug. If you have a pug, you have to get an eye scooper to pop the eye back in when it falls out.
I don't know.
Fun facts.
Maybe
Continue.
we should say gore warning just before I said that previous thing about the eye scooping.
Eye scooping? What, like trigger warning flash on the screen?
Yeah, just like.
Okay.
Anyway, so he scooped out my eye, and then put it into his own, because
Did
he was
have
without.
an empty eye?
Yeah, he had no eyes.
Why didn't he have eyes?
Apparently, I'd taken them, and not taken
you
them.
took them?
I apparently really terribly hurt him.
Oh.
Um,
Why is everyone taking each other's eyes?
yeah, I just scooped him out and
Ew.
ate him. So he took mine, put it into his own eye socket, and then told me that I can only have it back if he does this like quest thing. Eventually, I did get it back, but it was like creepy.
Would you want it back?
I mean, well, so he's blind in the other eye, so he was completely blind at that point.
Oh.
So that's kind of his only option.
Oh. Wait, could the other guy see out of the eye that
Yeah,
he
he
took?
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you just take 2 new eyes and then avoid doing the quest?
I don't think my character really knows how to do that.
Your character is dumb.
He's 20 intelligence. He's like Albert Einstein.
Okay. Well, so where's the
That
drama?
doesn't mean anything to you. So I mean, I think that in itself was pretty dramatic, right?
That wasn't the drama.
That wasn't the drama.
You didn't bring the drama.
Getting my eye scooped out, my only eye.
Well, you know.
Don't know some other. I mean, I think if we go too much more into that, won't be.
I think we gotta move on.
But yeah,
You
that's
can maybe find some better stories next time.
wow. What more do you want from me?
I don't know.
What more pain do you want me
I
to
don't
go
know.
through?
I don't know.
So those are my stories. I could probably think of more, but those are the ones that immediately
We don't
come
need
to
any
mind.
more stories.
Yeah.
We need you to talk through some more Dungeons and Dragons.
So I think that this should be the part where we force you to make a character.
Okay. Let's do it.
You actually okay with it?
Sure. Let's do it.
So for the summer, I was thinking that I would DM a bit of D&D, sort of like loose, interconnected one-shots, because none of us can actually pay attention for more than an hour and a half.
Absolutely not. I haven't even been paying attention the last half hour you've been talking.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
I heard most of it.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I heard most of it. You didn't get too nerdy on me. It's fine.
Wow. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Not too nerdy. 5
I'm
stars.
surrounded by nerds all day, every day. I cannot keep up
Mhm.
all the time.
That's fair.
I am not a superhero.
Hmm.
Anyway, so what are we doing?
Well, I was thinking this can also be sort of a tutorial for those who don't know that much about D&D. I'll sort of walk through making a character in a way that's actually like doable.
Okay.
The way that I would say for someone like you, no attention span, just like me, I mean,
Yeah.
so I can say that. The best way to do it, I think, is for you to explain what you want, and then I'll translate that into D&D.
Oh.
So
Okay.
let's first say, well, we could do this either one of two ways. You could say like a race, or like your
No, I
equivalent
know
of
what
one.
I want. I know like 40% of what I want.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try and translate it then.
Okay.
So normally you choose a race and a class and a background.
Well. Okay. So I'm a human.
Okay. Straight after that.
I'm just kind of horribly like I've broken almost every bone in my body at some point.
Okay.
And nothing healed totally right. So like there's nothing that you can really pinpoint what exactly is wrong with me, but I'm just kind of off all the way around. You know?
Mhm.
My name is Balcony because I fell off a balcony. But you can call me Balkan.
Belkin.
Like Falcon, but not nearly as agile or talented.
Okay.
Okay?
What is Belkin?
A human. I told you.
Yeah, but what does Belkin do?
Okay, here's what I was thinking. I was thinking like
Mhm.
knives.
Okay, that's something. I can work with that.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you want to do with knives?
I want to be. I feel like I want to be a little stabby, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of
Do
just
you want
want
to
to
be
be
sneaky
like
stabby?
No, I don't have to
You
be.
just want to be very in your face about the stabby.
Well, not like in your face, but you're probably okay.
You probably see you.
Well, I'm kind of like coming at you. You're not really sure what's going on. I look a little funky.
Mhm.
Something's off. You can't quite put your finger on it, but I don't.
Do you say you've broken
I'm a
all of your
human.
bones?
Most of them. I'm a
Like
human.
currently they're broken?
Well, no, they've all healed, but like I didn't get
Oh.
anybody to help me like set them, so they all healed slightly off. So every bone in
So
my
you're
body
a
is like
lumpy human.
Yes,
That can't be good for you.
it's not. It's not.
Okay.
But it's something. Okay, that's what I want. So then I will be kind of like
And are
sketchy.
you willing to play this character for multiple one shots?
No, just one.
You want to make a new character every one shot?
Wait, can I like evolve and get stronger? Can I start out as like a stumpy thing and then become like a cool character? If somebody like helps me
Okay.
fix it?
So maybe I'll separate it. There's two things that you can do in D&D, mainly.
I don't think I get this.
You
game.
can make a joke character,
Yeah.
or you can make one that has a little bit of plot. You can mix them together,
Okay.
too. So you can have a sort of joke character that does have a little bit of, like, evolution
Can
to
I
them.
have two forms? Can I be like a
Sure.
shapeshifter, but I
Yeah.
only shapeshift? So that's like my like form that I'm in all the time. But then actually, I'm actually a cool person, but I just always choose to be in like the broken, kind of creepy.
So that's like a persona.
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't know what
So
I'm doing
you're...
with my fingers.
So like a Greek god or something. You have like a weird,
Yes.
like a weird one, like
Yes.
to test if they're gonna be nice to
Yes.
you. Okay, that's interesting. I can definitely work
But
with
I
that.
also I think part of me is just crazy though, and that they just like being a little bit nuts. Like you have like the ones that you're like, okay, yeah, everything's cool, whatever, chill. But like there's the part of your brain that's like kind of like I kind of like the kind of people who are kind of like I kind of want to microwave a hamster, you know? But then you take that part of your brain and it's like a second version of a person that you could just and then you're that person and nobody expects anything out of you because nobody knows what you actually are. So now you're just this weird like person that lets all your weirdness kind of like erupt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like everything weird about you and kind of off is like a person.
Yeah.
But then the other side of you is like even more normal than anyone expects you to be because all the weird is in the other side.
This.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It totally does.
See, it turned into something.
This is
Look
like
at
a.
me.
I've actually played a character sort of like that.
Ooh.
So what you're describing sounds very much to me like a fey creature.
Okay. I
So-
can do that.
There's this plane outside of like the normal one that's called the Feywild. It's like this naturey weird place where like nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
Except to the fey creatures who like it's their home. They know everything about it. And most of the time fey creatures just want to do whatever they want. Like they're like satyrs and dryads and fairies and
Okay.
all these like nature spirits that you might have heard in folklore. And they play tricks on people, or they make them do like pacts or stuff to mess with them.
This is fun because the book I'm reading right now,
Mm-hmm.
Throne of Glass, really, really good book, by the way. You should read it if you haven't.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get you into it. It's a really good book. But anyways, they have fae in it. They have like that whole thing.
Oh, so you know a little bit about the
I
trope.
don't.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I don't think it's the same kind of thing.
Also, I think in Fablehaven that a little bit of it. Like
Yeah,
the
it's.
satyrs and stuff.
I think in this one, fae is more like, what do you call it? Like elves, kind of. They're more
Elves
of like
have
that
fey
side
lineage in D&D. They're sort of.
thing.
they
They
have a
have
bit
like
of
the
that.
pointy ears and like the sharper fangs and like the silver hair, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
But-
also sort of encapsulated in of like the fey stuff in D&D.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I'll do that.
So there'd be different races that you could be if you want to be a fey creature. You could also be a changeling, which can change form at will.
So here's what I'm thinking, right?
Mhm.
So my name is Belkin. That's like a cool god name. But then I say my name's Balcony when I'm weird because I'm like, oh, that's what I fell off of, you know? But it's
Okay.
actually because it's like an extended version of my name.
So are
See?
you like a thing that people know? Like
Yes.
people know of you.
Well, the god part, yeah.
So
not
you're an actual
balcony.
god.
Wouldn't that be cool?
You're an actual god.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Okay, but you'll need a bit of a limiter to your power.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Could I have been like?
Some
could I
people
have
don't
been,
want
like,
to. Yeah.
What if I'm like a
be an-
dejected god, like one who is like in power, and then I did something bad, so then all the other gods are like, you're knocked
Trials
down a
of Apollo
peg for
style.
now. Yeah,
A lot of DMs would not be willing to DM that, but I totally would. I
Okay.
think that's cool.
cool. I like it. There we go. I did it.
So, I guess we probably shouldn't
Rate my
tell.
skills out of 10. People who
The
actually, if you
skills?
know D&D, like as far as creating a character, you know, like is that a cool character or is he just very
Belkin?
inexperienced?
I think that it could very much be interesting.
And that's
That's
a word I often have associated with things that I say.
But I actually think it could work really well. If you go the Feywild route of being tricksy and having like a purpose to your chaos, but still being chaotic.
Well, yeah.
I
I'm
think that's
always
good.
chaotic. That's every character I've ever played has been like chaotic neutral.
Mhm. I mean, that is, I think, what this person's
That's
alignment should be.
fun.
Should we have other personas for that character, or is it just the one you have right now?
What do you mean personas?
For like
I'm
Belkin.
lost.
So Belkin is the like
He's cool.
he's like is he a god or like a maybe you should be a demigod, so you're not just straight up a
Yeah,
god.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still someone like you're like a hero or something.
Well, yeah, he's kind of like I'm thinking like kind of like Hermes kind of like trouble situation, not like the actual Hermes, but like the way they kind of make him in like Percy Jackson,
Hmm.
like his cabin, they're all kind of like mischievous.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm feeling for this dude.
Okay.
Like he's kind of chill and laid back, but he's also like you can tell that he like could totally screw up anything he wanted to very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is actually sounding like a real character.
Yeah.
Okay,
Look
so
at me. I'm doing it.
we have the sort of
I don't want to play.
design, right? So what can the character actually do? What are his abilities?
I still just like the whole pokey poke.
So you want knives?
Yeah.
2 knives?
I think when he's in balcony form,
Okay.
he really likes knives, but he doesn't know what to do with them. So he just kind of walks around like this and holds them up like they're like butter knives. So he's getting ready for like dinner.
Okay.
But then when he's in Balkan form, he's like, he knows what he's doing.
Okay.
He can skewer somebody's eye out.
I'm
We're
really
talking, I don't want to keep going back to eyes coming
Yeah.
out.
Jeez,
What a dark
that's
podcast.
It's a theme with this one. So, okay. So you want knives. So you probably don't want to be. Do you want magic?
I mean, I probably had magic, but not right now.
Okay, so you would. And so what's been taken away from you? You can still change forms into Belkin.
Probably just like the magicness part.
So you used to be magic, but not so much now.
Yeah.
So you can't do like anything, but you can do some things.
Yeah.
So are you
I
just
can
gonna
do
be?
little tricky things, but not like the big things.
Okay, so you can do some like tricks, but not.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's definitely not a full caster then. So would you be interested in having some limited spells or like not really any? Because you know how spells work, right?
I don't really want to have spells.
You don't want to have spells.
No.
Okay. Then.
But I want to be smart. I want to know things about spells, even though I can't really do anything.
Ooh, I'd say then. So that just means that you could be trained in Arcana, which you totally could. I think that. So I was thinking, for actual class, I think there are a few things you could be, but the most obvious would probably be a rogue. They don't need to have magic, but they're like good at. What do you want to be good at? Like lying,
Confusing.
deception.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. that's me.
You could also be
Balcony.
you could also be a bard, but they're more magic-y.
I don't want to be a bard.
Okay.
I don't want to be Scanlan.
No. Yeah. So rogue would be Vax, the like raven guy with the.
He's cool.
He's cool. I think that would suit your character pretty well. You could just be like a fighter, so you don't. The thing is, with rogue, you'd have to worry about getting sneak attack. You'd have to be like smart about how you fight people and like sneak up behind them. Are you up for that?
Sure. Let's make like a taco and wrap this up, okay?
Wow. Okay.
I didn't mean to. I was gonna say burrito. That'd make a lot more sense.
Yeah, I would. So
Let's
we'll get
make
into the
like
details.
A burrito and wrap it up.
I think
I like taco better. Sorry.
taco kind of sounds better than burrito.
It does. Anyway, yeah. So that was, I think, a pretty good intro to D&D.
Yeah, we've made the concept of a character. Should we update? We'll update you guys with.
No, we won't.
Like briefly, we could.
I mean, maybe.
If it goes well.
Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, yeah, that was cool. I think that worked out pretty well. I think the next episode, I kind of want to dive into Survivor and talk about that.
I would definitely be interested.
Because
in that.
I love Survivor, and I feel like if you had watched it, you probably would too. But we'll talk about that in the next episode. So that being said, thank you. Like I said, to all 7 subscribers for watching.
All 7
If you
of them.
are subscriber number 8 is my favorite number, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, it's fun. Anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you would like to see more.
100,000 is my favorite number. If you want to be that one.
Ooh, that's a good note.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Smash that like button.
I'm already tired.
Yeah, that was
Ugh.
exhausting.
Anyway, I'm not gonna. Thank you for being annoying for a whole 50 minutes. That was impressive.
I'm so good at it. It's my specialty.
But yeah, shout out to Mom.
And
And our aunt,
our aunt.
because she watched.
And
And our cousin, because she watched. She was made to watch twice, by the way. So I apologize.
And to anyone else who may not be related to us.
There's
How'd
no
you-
one watching this
how'd you
podcast
even
that is
find
not
this?
related to us. That is not happening right now.
But you're
You're
you
welcome.
can stay. Yeah, you're welcome. I was gonna say you're welcome to stay here, but you're welcome just in general for this content that we're providing.
Yeah, for 10 subscribers, I will dump all the Gatorade on his head.
Did you say for 10 subscribers you're gonna
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, Mom.